and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. For today's video, I'm going to be telling you 5 things you should not do as a medical assistant when giving an injection. For those of you who don't know, I am a medical assistant and have been for over 2 years now, and I absolutely love sharing my journey here on YouTube. And there are a lot of things that go into giving an injection, and I figured that some of you might find it helpful, whether you're in school or new to being a medical assistant, to know 5 things that you should never do. I haven't figured out how I want to word the title of this, but if I do word it in a way that it says the 5 do's and don'ts, what I mean by that is I'm going to tell you what not to do and give you suggestions on what you should do instead. Also, if you guys are taking any classes to be a medical assistant and are interested in how an injection is given, I will leave a video down below that I did a few months ago. And if you guys would like more videos like this one all about medical assisting, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And without further ado, let's get started. Getting into the do's and don'ts, the first thing you should never do is lie to a patient when they ask you if an injection is going to hurt. It is super important that you are upfront and honest with them, and instead of giving them false information by telling them it won't hurt, simply tell them something along the lines of it being a quick pinch and that their arm or injection site might be sore for a little while after. Even if the person asking is a child, do not lie to them and say it won't hurt, because you are literally telling them it won't hurt, knowing for a fact that it will hurt a little bit. The second thing to not do is throw away any medication vials after you've drawn up a medication until after you have documented it in the computer. There have been countless times where I have seen others simply toss a medication vial after drawing it up and then continuing on their way, but you should never do that because it is really important to document it in the patient's chart, and the medication vial has important information such as the lot number, expiration date, and stuff like that. That should always go into the patient's EMR if you are using a computer to document it. So instead of just tossing it, I highly recommend just slipping it into the pocket of your scrub and documenting it directly after you have administered the injection. Number 3 is actually one that I don't see a lot of other MAs do, and that is to never forget to put a label on the syringe after you've drawn up a medication. And this label should include the patient's name, date of birth, the medication you are giving, as well as the dosage. Because if you were to have an incident where you are administering multiple injections, they could easily be mixed up, and 9 times out of 10, you're not going to know which injection is which medication in the syringe. Or if you were ever questioned about it, that label is the only thing that is going to save you and help you know what is actually drawn up in that syringe. And in my video where I showed how to give an injection, I actually included a label if you are interested in having a visual representation of what I'm talking about. The 4th thing to never do is to never forget to give the patient or parent a viz sheet from the CDC prior to giving an immunization. And this means that if you cannot find one that is already printed out, it is your responsibility to go on the computer to the CDC's website and print one out yourself to hand to the patient or parent. And it is a federal law that you must give this to the patient or the parent of the patient if they are a minor under the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act. And when it comes to documenting an immunization, always document that you did in fact give the patient or the parent of the patient the viz sheet. And the 5th one is probably the most important one and is one I stress about a lot, and that is to never document an injection you did not administer. This means you never, under any circumstances, document an injection that was administered by another MA other than yourself, even if you are asked by another MA who is running behind or isn't able to document the injection at that time, asks you to do it. And as hard as it can be sometimes to tell another MA that you aren't gonna do it, even though you can see that that person is stressed and running around like a chicken with its head cut off, always remember that it is the individual's own responsibility to document the injection that they gave. This also ties into if another MA asks you to give an injection for them, do not do it unless the provider actually goes in and changes the order to be ordered to you instead. An injection should never be given under another MA's name other than your own, and it is very important that the provider changes all the information and states that it is going to be given by you before you actually administer the injection. So those are just 5 things you should never do when giving an injection. These are definitely super helpful tips that I have learned along the way and thought that some of you may like to hear as well. If you guys would like more videos similar to this one where I talk about the do's and don'ts of doing something medical assistant related, definitely let me know down below. And if you guys have any suggestions or things you want me to cover, let me know what they are, because I would be more than happy to sit down and do more videos like this one. While you guys are down there, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I upload new content regularly and would love it if you'd become part of our little family. Also be sure to hit the bell so that you are in fact notified every time I do upload a new video. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!